Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Super Show. Top story this week is, of course, Misomania 3. I think the best way to report on this is I'll go through the results of the tournament first, the Create a Competitor tournament, that's the centerpiece of Misomania 3, and then I'll start talking about the featured matches. Now, a lot of these things were going on simultaneously. Players were fitting their matches in when they were finished up with the tournament, when they played their tournament matches. Matches were going on simultaneously, so I wasn't able to watch every match because, and I'll just give you a quick example, the LFF Trios Championship match and the LFF Intergalactic Championship match were both happening at the same time. So I was only able to watch one of those, and of course, as I'm going between different matches and checking on results, I'm not able to see everything fully. I'll give you what I have. Let's go ahead and start with the tournament. 38 players signed up for the Misomania tournament. The winner of this tournament would be able to create a competitor in Super Show the game. It was originally advertised as 5 Swiss rounds. Right now, the Super Show app that is currently being used can't do Swiss rounds. So it ended up being 5 bullet rounds. Will we see Swiss functionality in the future? Maybe. Right now, though, it only has bullet round functionality. So there were 5 bullet rounds, no stipulations, just standard singles matches in the bullet round portion. Now, I'll also mention this. Everyone who signed up for the tournament, who bought their ticket, was supposed to get 4 promo cards. Unfortunately, those promo cards did not arrive at the store at Miso's Game Room and Collectibles in Louisville, Kentucky on time. At the time we left, they had still not arrived. So those will have to be sent out to the 38 players that were in the tournament at some point. Players were supposed to be able to put those cards on their deck lists and add them in to use during the tournament. Obviously, that could not happen. That was probably the first hiccup of the day. The second hiccup of the day with the system was, for some reason, one player, Just Doug, was never seated after his first match. The app did not match him up with other players in bullet rounds, so they had to essentially fix that problem. It did get fixed, but just another hiccup. They're constantly working on refining the app, and this is another thing that they learned they'll need to have fixed. They were able to get all of that resolved, and after the 5 bullet rounds, they cut to a top 19. 13 players received a bye into the top 16. The remaining 6 paired off, 3 singles matches, no stipulations. The winners would join the 13 byes in the round of 16. From the top 16 to the quarterfinals to the semifinals, there were no stipulations. Here were your top 8 matchups in the Misomania Create a Competitor tournament. In the quarterfinal round, we had TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen as the Real Beater take on the LFF Chiropractor as Back Curtain. We had Zach Ashley as Amelia Breckenwith take on the Lethal Endorser playing as the Pretzel Wizard. We had the Director of Operations, Dave Marisak, playing as the flipped version of Highwater, take on the Enforcer, playing as Joe Hendry. And we had the Collector, Sean Loeb, playing as the new version of the Memes Dealer, take on Logan Fossbaugh, playing as Dastardly Dick Thunderlips. Your winners, the TVA Commissioner, the Lethal Endorser, the Enforcer, and the Collector. In the semifinals, we had TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen versus the Lethal Endorser, and we had the Collector Sean Loeb versus the Enforcer. Both of those matches go to Crowd Meter 2. The winners moving on to the finals, the TVA Commissioner and the Collector. We almost had an Enforcer versus Endorser finals, not to be. We instead have TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen versus the Collector Sean Loeb in the finals. Main event stipulation match. Each player playing as one of their own competitors. The Commissioner as the real beater, Sean Loeb as the new version of the memes dealer. This match also goes to Crowd Meter 2. The winner of the main event stipulation match, winning the ability to create a competitor in Super Show the game, the Collector Sean Loeb. Congratulations to the Collector for winning Misomania's Create a Competitor tournament. I believe this is his second tournament win. I know he won a past Pixel Palace Pandemonium tournament, Create a Competitor tournament, as the original Ricky Riot. So he is now a multi-time, unless I'm missing one that happened previously, he is now for sure a multi-time Create a Competitor tournament winner. Congratulations to the Collector, Sean Loeb. Now on to the featured matches from Misomania 3. I'm going to give these as close to chronological order as possible. I know that my last one that I'll talk about was not in chronological order. But let's go ahead and start with the first featured match I saw for the Deep South Championship. The challenger, General Lee Wong, playing as the new version of General Lee Wong. The champion, the Grim Librarian, playing as the new version of the Grim Librarian. Each player in the match playing as one of their own competitors. Standard singles match, it ends up going to Crowd Meter 2. The winner at Crowd Meter 2, new Deep South champion, General Lee Wong. Congratulations to General Lee Wong for becoming the new Deep South champion. The General rebounds from losing the LFF Global Championship at Grand Gathering 5 to become the new Deep South champion at the next big in-person event. The next match I have for the LFF Old School Championship. The challenger, Mr. Pollywood, playing as the original High Roller. The champion, Rambo Apocalypse, appearing as Funtime Apocalypse, repaying the favor at Grand Gathering 5. Then challenger Rambo Apocalypse had the champion, Funtime Bob, dress as Rambo Apocalypse. Now, champion Rambo Apocalypse dresses as Funtime Bob, paying it back. So Funtime Apocalypse attempts to defend against the LFF Chiropractor. Standard singles match goes to Crowd Meter 1. The winner, new champion, Mr. Pollywood. Congratulations to Mr. Pollywood for becoming the new LFF Old School champion. Will we see Funtime Chiropractor in the next championship match? We'll have to see. But congratulations again to Mr. Pollywood. We have the LFF Trios Championship up next. The challenger, former LFF Trios champion, Ron Rumble, playing as the family. The champion, Robert the Brain Dunn, playing as Thinky and the Brains. The winner at Crowd Meter 1, rolling a 26. New. And once again, LFF Trios champion, Ron Rumble. Congratulations to Ron Rumble for becoming the LFF Trios champion. Bob Dunn ends his reign announcing that he's going to try to complete what they call the Grand Slam Championship. I believe he's going after the LFF Tag Team Championship next. This would mean that he has won the 5 major LFF championships in his career. While this match was going on, the Intergalactic Championship was being defended. The challenger, Mr. Cheat, playing as the new version of Hallow King. The champion, longtime champion, Zach Ashley, champion as Luna Hallows. This was a long match. It ends up going all the way to crowd meter 4. The winner at crowd meter 4, hitting an unstoppable backbreaker from the dead, new intergalactic champion, Mr. Cheat. Congratulations to Mr. Cheat for becoming the intergalactic champion. We have a locals championship defended. Not a Miso's locals, but a TVA locals. The TVA Tornado Tag Team Championship. The challenger, the Grim Librarian, playing as the duodecimal system. The champion with the Souls Weavers, Practicite. Practicite won this championship because one time he went to a TVA event in Alabama. It just so happened to be the debut of that championship, and he walked out as champion. The match was originally set to have one fall, but the first fall was scored quickly by the champion, and so the champion decided to make it a 2 out of 3 falls match to give the Grim Librarian a chance to become the champion. The second fall was won by Practicite, so the champion successfully retains the TVA Tornado Tag Team Championship. Congratulations to Practicite for a successful defense. This brings us into the final featured matches of the night. We start off with the defense of the LFF Underworld Championship. The challenger, the Starbreaker, Trey Cantrell, playing as Wendigo. The champion, the winner of the Misomania 2 Creative Competitor Tournament, 12 Grat Matt, champion with the competitor he won that tournament with, Ricochet. Standard singles match, it goes to crowd meter 2. The winner, still champion, 12 Grat Matt. Congratulations to 12 Grat Matt for retaining the LFF Underworld Championship. Now, it is my understanding that he will be attending for at least one day PAX Unplugged. So will we see a defense at PAX Unplugged? Likely. I would be on the lookout for that announcement. We have the Deep South Tag Team Championship match. The challengers, Grim Thoughts. The team of the Grim Librarian, playing as the new version of the Grim Librarian, and Robert the Brain Dunn, playing as Steel Wolf. The champions, Kang Trell. The Possum Kang, playing as Theo, the Greek Neo, the newer version, and the Starbreaker, Trey Cantrell, playing as the Player of the Era. This was relatively short for a tag team match. It doesn't go past crowd meter 0. The winners at crowd meter 0, new champions, Grim Thoughts. Congratulations to the Grim Librarian and Robert the Brain Dunn for winning the Deep South Tag Team Championship. The final match of the night was for the LFF Global Championship. The challenger, Harvey Luster, challenging using the original version of EC3. The champion, TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen, champion with Jigsaw. This match was pushed to the end of the night because Drew Madsen made it all the way to the finals of the Misomania Creative Competitor Tournament. Standard singles match. It ends up going all the way to crowd meter 5. Mostly due to the challenger using Schoolboy to quickly hit a finish and bump up the crowd meter. The winner at crowd meter 5, once again using Schoolboy, rolling a 9, but 9 was enough. New LFF Global Champion, Harvey Luster. Congratulations to Harvey Luster for winning the LFF Global Championship. Now, there was one somewhat featured match that I missed. Mr. Cheat was going to be holding a multiplayer match for the Mr. Cheat Championship. He debuted the belt. You may have seen a photo of the belt in the SRG Super Show discussion group on Facebook. The match is a tag team match. On one tag team, we have Rambo Apocalypse playing as Bobby Ohio and Moxie playing as Moxie. On the other tag team, we have Jared Bridge playing as Jean-Dre, the Gigantic Grenoble, and new player Nick Jacob playing as Miss Fury. From what I understand, the match ends up going to Crowd Meter 1. There are multiple shenanigans throughout. The winner of the match, maybe Mr. Cheat Champion, it's very fuzzy, but the winner pinning Moxie, new player Nick Jacob. Congratulations to Nick Jacob for maybe winning the Mr. Cheat Championship. I'm not sure how it worked. I don't believe he walked out with the belt. I don't know what happened to the belt. I heard it got taken by Mallory the Destroyer for a while. I'm not sure what happened to it after that. But congratulations to Nick Jacob, new player, and Jared Bridge for winning the Mr. Cheat Tag Team match. One featured match I may have missed. I never saw it. There was talk about the Bluegrass Championship being defended at Misomania 3. If it was, I never saw the belt. I never saw the match. I might have just missed it. One other thing I should have mentioned, at the beginning of the tournament, there was a random draw, although I doubt it was random, for a player that would have a bounty on him. Simple Chuck drew to see who would have the bounty. He drew his own name. So, there was a bounty on Simple Chuck. If you defeated Simple Chuck, you won a prize. There was a box of prizes to choose from. You also received a miniature golden trophy featuring a caricature of Simple Chuck. Quite a few people won the bounty. Speaking of the prizes, one of the prizes from that box was an autographed photo of Booker T. That photo ended up going to the only 5-0 player in the tournament, Ricky Wright. I forgot to mention Ricky Wright going 5-0. Congratulations to him for going undefeated into the top cut. Unfortunately, he did not make it out of the top 16. I believe eventual finalist Drew Madsen defeated him, eliminated him in the top 16. I apologize. I'm just going from memory on that if I have that wrong. Misomania thoughts in general. The tournament ran smoothly. I did mention a couple of hiccups, but they were very quick to get on those and get those fixed as best they could. Product, they did a lot better with product at Misomania 3 as opposed to Misomania 2. At Misomania 2, they underordered product. All of the product was sold out within an hour of the tournament's registration opening. Before the tournament even began, they had no Super Show product. Here they had a number of Grand Packs from the new Grand Pack Wave, Wave 3, a number of the single Super Lucha competitors that are in the foil packs, the blind packs. I believe they even had some mystery boxes as well, although I think some of those mystery boxes were set aside and given out as prizes to players who made it at least into the semifinals and the finals. It was great seeing everyone else again. I enjoyed it. I don't know when the next live event I'll be able to be at is going to be. I won't be at PAX Unplugged the weekend of, I want to say, November 19th through the 21st. I won't be there. I won't be at the next Atlanta Creative Competitor Tournament, Level Up Games CAC. That's going to be November 8th at Level Up Games in Duluth, Georgia. Also, special guest announcement, Alex Kane, independent wrestler, will be there at Level Up Games Creative Competitor Tournament. He'll be there, I'm assuming, signing autographs. He does have a competitor in Super Show. I don't know if they'll have those on site for sale, but that is something that's going on. As far as more details about the Level Up Creative Competitor Tournament, those will be coming over the next few days and weeks. I don't have anything yet about tournament structure or booking list. Speaking of Level Up Games, they're also going to be hosting their own convention, the Level Up Games Convention, October 23rd through October 26th. That'll be at the Gas South Convention Center in Duluth, Georgia. The local SRG Play Group will be there doing demos, I believe selling product, I believe maybe running events. That's all the news I have on that so far. I'll give you more when I have more. But those are the next big in-play things coming up over the next month. Kickstarter news. Here's the current status as I'm recording this of Super Show, the Major Wrestling Edition with Matt Cardona, with that Kickstarter campaign for Super Show the game. $26,444 have been pledged from 174 backers. There are 5 days left in the campaign. The campaign will end Friday, October 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have reached the SWOGgle funding goal. We have achieved $25,000 pledged. The next funding goal is at $27,500. We are $1,056 away from hitting that goal. That goal will give every person who pledged and is eligible for stretch goals a copy of the competitor set for Ultra Dracula. To me, this is a funding goal we should be able to easily reach. I don't know how many people were going to pick up the SWOGgle add-ons that became unlocked when the campaign reached $25,000. But the SWOGgle add-ons for the new SWOGgle competitor sets are roughly $20. They're $19 exactly. If just 150 backers added on a SWOGgle, that would be $3,000 roughly, which would put us well over the stretch goal. It would take us from 25,000 to almost 28,000. We would get the Ultra Draculas. So if you're thinking about adding on the SWOGgle, go ahead and do it. Let's unlock the funding goal. Let's get the Ultra Draculas locked in to everybody pledging the campaign. We're also 26 backers away from the backer goal, the only backer goal we have so far. If we get 200 backers, everyone who is eligible for stretch goals will receive an updated Major Wrestling Figure Podcast entrance card. That's where we are right now at the campaign. With the exception of the Create a Competitor tier, there are still plenty of spots in every other pledge tier. In just getting the 2-player game for $29, in getting the 2-player game with promos and the deathmatch crowd meter for $69, plenty of that. Plenty of the $69 tier, plus an autographed Deathmatch King competitor set at $99, plenty of that left. And there are still 14 of the Create a Card tiers available, where if you want to create a card in Super Show the game that features Matt Cardona or Brian Myers in the art, you can do that $299. Let me also give a brief update about the Backer Kit campaign being run by WrestleVania Symphony of the Fight. That's the RPG from 9th Level Games that is partnering with Super Show the Game with the SRG Universe, doing sort of a joint campaign thing. Their campaign is going really well right now. They have $49,128 pledged from 733 backers, with 25 days left in their campaign. They have actually unlocked a themed one-shot based around Dia de los Muertos and Raven's Blood Cemetery. That has been unlocked in WrestleVania Symphony of the Fight. So you can play, if you're pledging that campaign, you will get a one-shot based around Super Show the Game competitors. So that's pretty outstanding if you're a fan of both WrestleVania and Super Show. That Super Show will be part of the WrestleVania universe. Those are the two big stories outside of one thing I'll talk about at the end of the show. Let me go through some smaller things. We have an update from the Midwest Coast General Manager, Colin Simon, about Midwest Coast Championships. First, the new Midwest Coast champion, the Meeple, will get to choose his first challenger for that championship. That choice hasn't been announced yet. I'll give you that news when I have it. The next challengers for the Midwest Coast Tag Team Championship, held by the New Hotness, those challengers are the Foreman and HR. No date and time yet for that match, but that is the next matchup. The Foreman and HR will challenge the new hotness for the Midwest Coast Tag Team Championship. We have an update for the six-stop tournament being run by six-stop GM Rowdy Ron. The semifinal matches have been completed. The first semifinal match was Generally Wong playing as the, I believe, original version of the Invisible Man, the version without finish cards. He faced Ron Rumble playing as Mr. Rumble in the first semifinal match. Generally Wong would win. In the other semifinal match, we have the Screaming Dancy playing as Titan versus Eddie Fury playing as the Heathen Cruel. Eddie Fury wins, so Generally Wong as the Invisible Man will face Eddie Fury as the Heathen Cruel in the finals of the six-stop tournament. I would have to imagine that will be streamed at some point. The players are able to customize their decks for their opponent in the finals. I believe there will also be a stipulation as well. Looking forward to reporting on all of that when the time comes. Let's talk about the online tournaments from this past week. To my knowledge, there were no featured matches. Sunday Night Fights is not happening this week because of the story I'll be talking about later. Monday, we had Monday Night Fights. This was a Super Lucha Division tournament. You had to use Super Lucha competitors. 7 players signed up. They played 4 bullet rounds, and afterwards they cut to a top 4. All of the matches in this used Super Lucha rules. A player could not play a finish until their opponent had had at least one turn in the game. They cut to a top 4, semifinals, and then a finals and a third place match. No stipulations as far as I can tell. Your top 4 end up being in 4th place, playing as Super Lucha's Gia de los Muertos, Titan. In 3rd place, playing as Draculina and Calliope, Ricky Riot. In 2nd place, playing as Vic de Doom, Rowdy Ron, and the winner of Monday Night Fights, playing as the Super Lucha version of Aerial Lipstick and Scrappers, the Italian Bombata. Congratulations to the Italian Bombata for winning Monday Night Fights. Thursday, we have Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. Underworld Division Tournament. World Division competitors booked, all other singles competitors legal, subject to 2020 vision. 7 players, 3 bullet rounds, cutting to a top 4. In the semifinal round, all of the matches were Beast Unchained matches. The finals match and the 3rd place match were both Ring of Fire matches. Your top 4 were in 4th place, playing as Kenny Omega, Pineapple Champion Matt Nealon. In 3rd place, playing as Kobe the Kid, Ricky Riot. In 2nd place, playing as Colby W. Cram, the chosen one, Colby Cram himself, and the winner, playing as the Super Lucha version of Snake Pit, John Polverino. Congratulations to John Polverino for winning Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. And now let's talk about the last story. The limited edition Bound for Glory cards releasing Sunday, October 12th, the night of TNA Wrestling's Bound for Glory pay-per-view on SuperShowTheGame.com. I talked about the Leon Slater competitor set coming out. I talked about the Hardys competitor set coming out. What I hadn't talked about are the 4 promo cards that are coming out as part of this release. From what I can tell, there are 4 promo cards. We know that for sure. It looks like there will be 2 different promo cards you can get in a Leon Slater competitor set, and 2 that you can get in the Hardys competitor set. Here are the 4 promo cards. The first is a finished submission at number 30. The line is drawn. It's just a stat boost finisher, +2 to power, +3 to submission. Any competitor with the TNA branding on the competitor card can run this finisher. It's similar to the Southern States wrestling finishers, or the Wrestling Revolver finishers, or the Scallywag finishers. That's the first promo card. The next 3 promo cards all have the same text. That text is draw 1 card, bury up to 4 cards in your opponent's discard pile. These 3 limited edition cards are leads in the 7 through 9 slots. The lead strike version at number 7 is called Through the Table. The lead grapple at number 8 is Extreme Leg Drop. The lead submission at number 9 is Extreme Chin Lock. So they have table as a keyword, chin, lock, leg, drop. So some good keywords. Again, all the same text on those 3. As of right now, these cards are randomly packed in either the Leon Slater competitor sets or the Hardys competitor sets. That is my understanding. Now, at the time I'm recording this, the competitor sets have not yet been made available for sale on SuperShowTheGame.com. I will come back and add a little portion on the show. I'll put a little white noise in, so be ready for that. And then I'll talk about the experience of trying to order these on SuperShowTheGame.com. Was it smooth? Were there website problems? What was the price point? How quickly they sold out, if I can give you that information. I'll talk about all of that coming up now. It's about 8:40 p.m. The Bound for Glory competitors, Leon Slater and the Hardys, went on sale on SuperShowTheGame.com at about 7 p.m. Pretty much right on the dot 7 p.m. Leon Slater is going for $25. The Hardys, that competitor, is going for $30. As of right now, both competitors show in stock, so they have not sold out. As far as the website quality, it was a lot better. There was still a bit of a delay. It took me about, I would say, 20 minutes to go from starting my order at 7 to getting the order to go through completely, with a couple of hiccups, but it's a lot smoother. I have not seen any real complaint posts on the SRG Super Show discussion group on Facebook. I did make my own post asking people what their experience was, and the general consensus from the few comments I got is this. It is running slower. It is better than last time. So that's good. Now, I don't know if it's better because they've improved the functionality, or if it's better because there wasn't as much demand. On the one hand, the Hardys are the biggest signing in Super Show history. On the other hand, it is a tornado tag. Tornado tag is not as popular as singles. A Jeff Hardy and a Matt Hardy would probably have been more popular than the Hardys as a tag team. I'll really know more about the demand if, say, tonight or tomorrow, the Hardys sell out on the website. If tomorrow morning rolls around and the Hardys are still available, assuming a similar print run to Joe Hendry, then it might be there was less demand for the Hardys. But if the Hardys sell out tonight, pretty good indicator that it was the website itself that was improved. If so, definite kudos to SRG Universe for doing a better job for learning from Slammiversary's situation with Joe Hendry and Mike Santana and adjusting to make the website better for the Hardys launch. One correction, I mentioned earlier that Sean Loeb is at least a 2-time Creative Competitor Tournament winner. I saw a post from Alexander Slamilton congratulating Sean Loeb for the win, mentioned that he was a 4-time winner. So I'm going to make that correction here. Sean Loeb, 4-time Create a Competitor tournament winner, based on that post. As far as things coming up for next week, last I looked on supershowthegame.com, nothing is posted, but I expect we will have a Monday Night Fights. I expect we'll have a Thursday Night Fights. I expect we'll have Dojo Tuesday night, twitch.tv/SRGuniverse. I don't think we'll have Candy Shop Talk on the Big Picture Premium Twitch channel this week. I expect they will have one of their 2 Wednesday shows, either Stacked Card or Ignite. We'll have to see. Nothing's been announced. Watch the SRG Super Show discussion group on Facebook. Watch supershowthegame.com for announcements about shows and events and tournaments running this week. And of course, I'm expecting Talk of the Universe Wednesday, likely Expanding the Universe Thursday morning. And then one more reminder, this is the final week for the Super Show, the Major Wrestling Edition with Matt Cardona Kickstarter campaign. If you're going to pledge, please pledge. Time is running out. I'd love to see us get to 27,500 and unlock the Ultra Draculas. I'd like to see us get to 200 backers and unlock the new Major Wrestling Podcast entrance cards. With that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.